Excuse me, who are you?
Traveller's Times.
You're who?
I'm from Traveller's Times.
So, are you on the road all year then? Do you have a place that you stop
what we've done
during
the
the
last
winter?
few years, we've rented a house because I've got teenage daughters and they like the social life of going to school.
Yeah.
And if they're on the road, because I'm travelling fast, they wouldn't get any social life. And so we just travel for about 7 months of the year, and that's better for the busking. Like I'll try and do a different town every day.
And that's how you make your money, is
yeah,
one of the ways.
One of the ways, yeah. And then during the winter time, I've got a flatbed trolley that I go around selling firewood and collecting scrap and that type of thing.
What about tax and things like that?
I do a tax return.
So you're sort of self-employed then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I got to do a tax return each year, and I was going along the road one day with a wagon, and when you meet a horse rider, often their horses are not very good, and they're not very good riders, and they, for some reason, they have trouble getting their horses past the wagons. You know, my horse is perfectly well behaved. I wouldn't have any trouble getting past anything. You know, I'd get past someone firing a machine gun, it wouldn't matter as long as the horse wasn't hit. But this rider, one particular rider, she starts saying, I pay my taxes, you know, and as though I wasn't sort of worthy enough to be on the road, because she has made the assumption I didn't pay taxes. And I actually had my tax return in the wagon. It was in May time, and they send it in April, and I like to get on with it so it's not sort of hanging over my head. So I actually had it ready to fill in that evening, and this lady was shouting all sorts of abuse at me, and I thought it was funny that she made these assumptions. You know.
Do you find you get a lot of abuse from the public as you're travelling?
Well, if you're on the side of the main road, then you get people shouting every so often, pipping the horns on the cars and shouting fucking jipper, all that sort of stuff.
Are you from is your family sort of got gypsy blood in it?
Well, on my mother's side, I apparently have gypsy blood.
Right.
But I'm sort of, I wouldn't claim to make any claims to be.
Do you think that there's a bit of an attitude about, you know, being a true gypsy or not, and whether or not, you know, that you know, people that just choose the lifestyle have just as much right to live a gypsy lifestyle as anyone else?
Well, I can understand where there's conflicts between various groups of travellers, because they feel that the other groups are responsible for prejudice against them. And certainly with the new travellers at this green gathering, with their alcohol and drug problems, and the fact that they don't keep themselves clean, gives other travellers a bad name.
Yes.
When they don't move on. They'd stop in one place and they're asking for water off the local people. They're welcomed perhaps at first, but after about 6 weeks, it's like the Chinese say, a fish and a friend stink after 3 days.
Well, it's also difficult as well with, as you say, with children growing up. And do you, when your children go on the road with you, do they must miss their sort of their Nintendos and things like that? Do you have all of that stuff?
My I've got daughters and they're not so interested in that sort of thing, but they do miss their friends. And there was a stage with my older daughter when she preferred it if I didn't go past when the school bus was waiting and she was standing with her friends, because she felt a bit sort of awkward about that. And I didn't have a problem with that. You know, when you're a teenager, you feel pretty self-conscious, don't you? And but gradually, her friends have started to think, oh. Your dad's cool, actually, which is nice for me, really.
Yeah.
You know, they actually quite like it. So,
What actually sort of
was the thing that made you want to live completely on the road and not sort of function in normal society?
well, I do function in a normal society, and I contribute towards it.
You do.
And do my bit for the community. When I go into a town with my horse and cart, a lot of people's faces light up with happiness, and I'm playing my bagpipes and they see the donkey and the horse, and I think when some old person's face lights up, or a little child, well, I've done something good today.
so you've done this all by hand, yeah?
Yeah, this is all the tools you need to do it by the side of the road.
How much do you sell these for then?
These copper buckets are £40.
Right. And this is a traditional way of making buckets, is it?
On the road, isn't
On the
it?
road.
It's where the word tinkering comes from, because of this.
Right. I see.
And also because you make them out of tin,
Yes.
or copper, you know, sheet. You're right, Sylvia. I'm looking to see if there's any copper cylinders. You know, and then I go and ask people if I can have them, and any other bits of scrap, and then I'm making stuff out of the scrap as much as I can, and then anything else gets put in the scrapyard, you see, that I can't use.
Right.
So it's, you know, proper recycling, isn't it? You know,
Well, yes, this is...
it's different from the sort of recycling where you go and buy a bottle of wine, drink it, and then take it to a bottle bank. You know, that's to me, that's not really. You didn't need the bottle of wine in the first place, really.
Sure. Well, yeah, there's so much just left lying around with bits, and people complain about gypsies having sort of scrap or mess all around them, but in fact they're utilising all of that
Tidying up, in effect.
in effect. And
When a house dweller sells his house, he leaves loads of junk behind.
yeah, that's right. So this is you say there's only yourself and one other person that's still doing the traditional art.
Well, I
of
think there's
tinkering.
probably a couple of other people around, and I don't know about in Ireland. Andy here works in Ireland, and
Right.
but I've never come across anyone else doing it on the road in this country.
Well, maybe it's something that the gypsies need to learn about again.
Well, I don't know.
They don't really.
The gypsies in this country didn't, on the whole, do much tinkering work. That was more Scottish travellers and Irish travellers.
Right.
But like the Calderash gypsies, which I guess is where the word cauldron comes from. You meet them in Europe more. They make amazing copper vessels traditionally, and early in the last century, a group came over here and they went round the Midlands mending all the big copper vessels that they used to use for making sweets in the confectionery industry, and no one else could compete with them. They were so good at it.